This video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and I'm extremely excited to tell you guys that G Fuel has now gone Sage Mode for the first time ever with the first G Fuel Naruto Sage Mode hydration tub, the very first Naruto flavor in the hydration line. You guys know that I've said in the past that I'll drink G Fuel for a quick boost of energy to get the morning started when I'm working on content. But what makes the hydration line different is the Naruto Sage Mode tub has 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, and 0 calories, but it's packed with all those important vitamins and electrolytes, and most importantly, it tastes amazing. Up until now, the only things I've tried from G Fuel have been their energy drinks and their protein puffs, but after trying the hydration tub, I strongly recommend it to you guys because it has that grapefruit white peach flavor that slaps as hard as Damon's stomped out code. Use my link down in the description box and the pinned comment to get yours today, and use my discount code KAGE for your discount. Again, go to gfuel.com or use my affiliate link and use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. Thank you again to G Fuel for partnering with me on today's video. With Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 9 done in the books, we have a rather interesting dilemma at the end of the chapter where just as Himawari was preparing to run away, Kurama appears to have summoned her into the Biju Sanctuary to speak to her, because this isn't just Himawari in danger, but it's now also Kurama due to the Ten Tails being on the hunt for Kurama's chakra. This of course led to a bit of a dilemma when it comes to Himawari's situation, because it makes you wonder what decision she's going to make in the upcoming chapter, because to say that she's got a big decision, it is an understatement, and her decision is one that will have major ramifications moving forward depending on what decision she makes. The reason why this is so interesting to me is that from a conflict perspective, it just adds so much to the narrative that can take the story a few different directions based on what decision she makes. But regardless of if she chooses to run away or she chooses to stay and fight, both of them have the underlying issue that is a major elephant in the room, which is the fact that while Himawari has been training for a battle for the last 3 years, this is the first time she's been in a combat situation where the enemy is literally out for blood and is targeting her specifically. This isn't a training match where the members of Team 10 are holding back against her, where while she did look sharp and she was fighting against Chocho and pulling off some rather impressive moves, she was still caught off guard by the fact that Chocho had other jutsu up her sleeve, and again, Chocho was holding back. While she saw the members of Team 10 fighting against the Claw Grimes, she looked rather impressed at the coordination and the teamwork and the skill that was being shown. And this is very important to take note of. She was watching everything unfold the way that a fresh, wet behind the ears Genin, fresh out the academy, would watch a battle of the Jonin Sensei for the first time in combat, wide-eyed and soaking it all in. And she wasn't looking like someone who was watching the battle with a very keen and a sharp sense of eyes, like someone who was experienced in battle, or even someone who had mentally been prepared for true combat, the way that Sasuke had done prior to becoming a Genin. And even with someone like Sasuke, an exception to the rule, he still found himself at one point contemplating killing himself because the bloodlust he felt coming off of someone like Zabuza, it was so much that it was driving him crazy, and Kakashi literally had to tell Sasuke, hey, remember to breathe. For Himawari, this is the first time she's ever been in a situation like that where she is the target and she is reacting accordingly, and she's freezing up just like she did when Delta tried to use her as bait to lure Naruto into the air in order to shoot him with her chakra beams. She's someone who has been pretty sheltered moving through the story up until this point in time, largely due to the fact that she grew up in a time of peace, and there was no sense of urgency to prepare her for a shinobi lifestyle because her kind-hearted, soft nature made her want to seek out other passions. And it wasn't until her brother was killed by Kawaki and brought back to life that she found herself giving serious consideration into becoming a shinobi. While she has gotten basic training from the Hyuga clan during her childhood, she wasn't someone like Boruto who got seriously trained at a very young age with the intention of making him a shinobi, because Boruto was dead set on becoming a ninja, if for no other reason than him believing it was expected of him as the son of the 7th Hokage and the grandson of the 4th Hokage, the heroes of the 4th Ninja War and the 3rd Ninja War respectively. For Boruto, it was about living up to the familial expectations, even if he wasn't sure why he felt the need to do so, which led to Naruto teaching him the Shadow Clone Jutsu and the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu before he even went to the academy, and he was playing combat training games with Boruto to get him ready. Games where Naruto at times wasn't above busting out Sage Mode to win if he needed to, because Boruto showed a very good propensity to use Shadow Clones to trick his father with Shadow Clone tactics, whereas Boruto found himself in the tuning level tear before he even set foot into the academy. Himawari was still busy making those ugly paintings that only a parent could dare call beautiful. She was a cute, adorable princess that Hanabi couldn't bring herself to train too harshly, and even her mother, more so than Hanabi, couldn't bring herself to push her too far either. That's why she was shown freezing up during the moment where Jura identified her as his target. Her confusion, it led to indecision, which got her caught in Jura's wood release jutsu and had her needing to be saved by Chocho and Inojin. Her comrades, they had to step up to the plate and they had to defend her, putting them in even bigger disadvantage than they already were in, because their attention wasn't just solely on the threat before them, but the duty of keeping Himawari safe. If she does decide to stay and fight, because Kurama gives her some of his power, potentially say all of his power, one of two things they end up occurring. One, does she handle the chakra boost in a much better way than expected, showing a natural aptitude for chakra control where she's able to effectively handle that high level of chakra right there on the spot, which combined with her Byakugan allows her to do a lot better than some people might expect. And Iruka's words in the anime and Hanabi's suspicions about Himawari in the Naruto parent and child age story, they end up being correct, which is that she might be naturally gifted in combat and she can pick up things at a fast pace if she's pushed a lot harder via Hanabi's observation, even though she herself couldn't bring that out of Himawari. And Iruka's saying that Himawari was just like Naruto and had the same potential as Naruto. Basically, to use a Dragon Ball reference, since Mikio Ikimoto, the Boruto illustrator, is so heavily inspired by it. Say she pulls a Broly or a Gohan and she literally learns to fight as she's fighting because her ceiling is just that high. Number two, say she gets hold of that chakra and despite having such a high volume of chakra, her continued inexperience, it just ends up biting her in the rear, because during the process of the battle, her inexperience shows. A skilled fighter, they can beat an enemy who is stronger than them if they play their cards right, but a more powerful fighter who's lacking in skill can lose a fight against a stronger enemy much faster than normal, and they can even lose a fight against a much weaker opponent because of said skill gap. It's for that reason I'm not too sure we can rule out the possibility of Kurama giving Himawari chakra for the purpose of having her and Team 10 run away from Jura, because Jura being after Himawari means that after Kurama is targeted by Jura, Kurama is gonna have a decision to make, and he's clearly had his reasons for wanting to stay hidden and not be found out by Jura at this point in time. If it's the same Kurama as before, he would know that Himawari, in terms of combat experience, she's definitely lacking there, and that might be the reason why running might be the better option to do. And there's no shame in running. Sometimes retreat is really a victory because it throws your opponent off guard and it makes them play with the hand that you're dealing them when it comes to the cards, because you're running away and you're putting distance between yourself and them and you're making them react to your actions. However, there is some disgrace in running away, if we're being honest, but only if the intention is to run away with no plans to fight again or allow for a better increased survival odds for your allies, because charging forward in a battle that you can't win, it isn't always the proper decision to make, and running away without the intention of ever fighting again is a move of a coward. While I personally can't see Himawari choosing the runaway tactic, I don't think that it can be fully ruled out either. And if she does run away, you again go back to her lack of experience, because against someone as fast as Jura and who has the claw mark jutsu like Jura, something that we haven't really seen him use in combat because he hasn't really had a need for it, it just makes it that much harder to escape, because evading someone like that, it requires a high degree of skill. I do think Himawari coming to the conclusion that at the end of the chapter that she needed to flee, it says everything we need to know about her. She is the daughter of her parents. She's not running away because she's scared per se, and while she was indeed frightened, that was not the determining factor behind her wanting to flee. It was her wanting to protect her friends and protect her village from harm. The battle with Jura showed that while he was more so focused on capturing her, like how Jigen and Ishiku both at times were looking to capture Kawaki and not engage anyone else unless they had to, only attacking when they were attacked or they felt threatened, due to the enormous power that Jura possesses. Wide-scale damage, it can be done to Konoha, and someone as peace-loving as Himawari would never be able to live with herself if she was the reason so many in her village ended up getting in danger. Jura wasn't above compressing the power of a Bijudama and firing it off with the intention of killing Shikadai. When Chocho punched him using the Yang release expansion jutsu, it forced the Biju Dama to be fired off and redirected, and it blew up a chunk of the area. We saw it could have been seen by people much further away in the central business district of Konoha. What's to say the next one isn't fired off in a more populated area? There's a danger to fighting in the village like this, and it's something that you have to respect Himawari for if this is her intention behind running away. The enemy is after her for reasons she doesn't fully understand. Why not put some distance between yourself and the enemy and avoid dragging more people into it? The prospect of running away, it might be what truly gives her more motivation to train to control the power inside of her, and it would be ironic if both Naruto's naturally born children are the ones who end up leaving the village, and Konoha is only left behind with the fraud known as Kawaki being the only person from the Uzumaki household. That would be a quicker turn of events than Kendrick dropping that diss on Drake Meet the Grams before Drake's response could even get traction. Naruto might not have a secret child in Kawaki, and he might not be accused of being a wife beater. If you know, you know, but what he is someone with a family that is unraveling without him being there to be the glue to keep things together, and it gives Kawaki his own launching pad for its own new order. Like his name was Star and Stripe, which to understand what I mean, you'll want to click on this video explaining Star and Stripe's quirk that I just uploaded yesterday.